a remarkable water system that has survived for over 2,700 years.
Just give it to us.
Just another view of the temple stones thrown down by the Romans.
There are places on earth that do not need to speak loudly. When they reveal something, the world listens. Jerusalem is one of those places. Beneath modern streets, political tension, and daily life, the city continues to uncover evidence that does not come from legend, speculation, or belief alone, but from stone, water, ash, and artifacts that have endured for thousands of years. These discoveries are not theories. They are measurable, visible, and verifiable. And when they are placed side by side, they raise a question that history alone cannot answer. Before we continue, hit like to help Jesus' miracles channel to this message reach others who need to hear it. A 2,700-year-old water tunnel still flowing. Beneath the streets of Jerusalem, hidden below layers of modern life, lies a structure that has survived wars, earthquakes, and empires. Carved in the 8th century BC during the reign of King Hezekiah, this water tunnel was not built for ceremony or symbolism. It was built for survival. What makes the tunnel extraordinary is not simply its age, but its condition today. Water still flows through it. Not staged water, not reconstructed flow. Real groundwater continues to move through the same channel carved nearly 2,700 years ago. Visitors can step inside the tunnel and feel the current under their feet, following a path established in the biblical era. The Bible describes this project with unusual clarity. The books of Kings and Chronicles record how water from the Gihon spring was redirected into the city to protect Jerusalem during an approaching siege. Archaeology confirms this account with physical evidence. The tunnel runs more than 530 meters through solid limestone bedrock, descending gently to carry water by gravity alone. No modern cement, no metal reinforcement, and no machinery were used. One of the most striking aspects of the tunnel is how it was constructed. Two teams began digging from opposite ends, starting hundreds of meters apart. They worked blindly through rock, guided only by sound, intuition, and basic tools. Despite this, the two channels met with astonishing accuracy. The slight misalignment visible where they connect only underscores the achievement. Ancient engineering solved a problem. Modern technology would struggle to replicate under similar conditions. Inside the tunnel, tool marks remain visible on the walls. These marks match Iron Age chisels, providing direct evidence of the period in which the tunnel was cut. An inscription discovered inside the passage records the moment the two teams heard one another through the rock and broke through, confirming the historical account carved into the stone itself. What is most compelling is that the tunnel still performs its original function. It does not exist behind glass as a relic. It was designed to move water, and it continues to do so. In the center of a modern city filled with technology, traffic, and steel, an ancient biblical infrastructure remains active. Jerusalem is often described as a city layered with history. This tunnel demonstrates something deeper. The past is not only remembered here, it is still working. If this is worth to you, consider supporting by liking the video and subscribing so we can move on this channel. Temple stones, too precise to ignore. Along the western edge of the ancient Temple Mount are stone blocks that immediately challenge ordinary assumptions about ancient construction. These are not modest building stones. Some of them weigh more than 400 tons, placing them among the largest stones ever moved and set by human hands in the ancient world. What draws attention first is not their size, but their precision. The stones are fitted so tightly that even a thin blade cannot be slipped between them. Their surfaces align with near-perfect accuracy across enormous distances. No mortar binds them together. The weight of each block rests directly on the next, distributing pressure with remarkable balance. There is no archaeological evidence of cranes, engines, or modern lifting systems used to place these stones. Ancient ramps and lever systems have been proposed, yet even these explanations struggle to account for the degree of control required. Moving such massive stones is one challenge. Positioning them with millimeter-level precision is another entirely. These stones were not set for decoration or display. They form part of the Temple Mount's foundational retaining walls, designed to support immense weight above them. Over centuries, they have endured earthquakes, fires, sieges, and repeated destruction of the structures built atop them. While cities changed and buildings fell, these stones remained unmoved. Tool marks found on the stone faces match ancient quarrying techniques, confirming their age and ruling out later reconstruction. Their edges are finely dressed, and the slight raised margins visible on some blocks reflect a distinctive building style associated with the Second Temple period. What makes this discovery especially striking is longevity. The stones were built not for a single generation, but with endurance in mind. Their placement suggests that the builders understood stress, load distribution, and stability at a level that modern engineers still study with respect. No inscription explains how the work was done. No record details the methods used. The stones stand as their own testimony, silent, massive, and exact. The question remains unspoken but unavoidable. How was such precision achieved with ancient tools, and why was it constructed with a permanence that seems to anticipate centuries yet to come? The year 70 AD, still visible in the soil. In Jerusalem, the destruction of the 1st century does not rely solely on written testimony. It is preserved directly in the ground. Long before archaeologists open a book, the earth itself reveals what happened. Excavations across the city have uncovered a distinct destruction layer dating to 70 AD. This layer appears consistently at multiple sites and carries the same unmistakable markers. Thick deposits of ash blanket the remains of homes and public buildings. Stones show clear signs of intense heat. Walls collapsed inward at the same time, trapping everyday objects exactly where they fell. These findings are not isolated. They form a continuous archaeological horizon that stretches across Jerusalem. Pottery, coins, and organic materials embedded within the ash allow precise dating. Roman-era coins discovered beneath the destruction layer, and none above it confirm that the collapse occurred suddenly, not gradually. The physical evidence aligns exactly with historical accounts of the Roman siege led by Titus. Ancient sources describe fire spreading through the city, buildings collapsing, and the temple complex being destroyed in a single catastrophic event. The archaeological record does not contradict this narrative. It confirms it in silence. Charred wooden beams found beneath fallen stone testify to roofs burning before structures gave way. Household items such as cooking vessels, lamps, and storage jars were left behind, indicating that residents did not have time for orderly evacuation. The destruction was abrupt and overwhelming. What makes this discovery especially striking is its clarity. Instead, the debris was sealed beneath subsequent layers, preserving the moment like a photograph in earth and stone. The city was rebuilt above it, but the scar remained untouched. This is not interpretation shaped by belief. It is material fact. Jerusalem carries the imprint of its own collapse beneath its streets. The year 70 AD is not remembered only in texts. It is still visible, held intact in the soil, waiting for anyone willing to look beneath the surface. biblical names held in the hand. Among Jerusalem's most revealing discoveries are objects so small they can rest on a fingertip. These are clay seals known as bullae, formed when soft clay was pressed onto cords or papyrus documents and stamped with an official seal. Once hardened, they secured letters, contracts, and records of governance. At first glance, these bullae appear ordinary. They are no larger than a coin fragment. Yet their significance is profound. Many bear names that appear directly in the biblical text, names of royal officials, scribes, and administrators who served in Jerusalem during the First Temple period. These seals were not created for worship, ceremony, or symbolism. They belonged to everyday government operations. Taxes, orders, correspondence, and legal matters passed through hands that used these seals. When buildings collapsed or burned, the clay hardened in fire, preserving the impressions for millennia. Archaeologists have recovered bullae inscribed with names that precisely match biblical figures, including officials mentioned in the books of Jeremiah, Kings, and Chronicles. The script matches ancient Hebrew writing styles of the correct period. The clay composition matches local sources. The context in which they were found aligns with administrative centers described in historical records. What makes these discoveries especially powerful is their intimacy. Monumental stones impress by scale. Burned layers testify to destruction. But these seals speak quietly of individuals. They confirm that the names recorded in Scripture were not symbolic characters or later inventions. They were people who held authority, sent messages, and managed the affairs of a living city. A name once encountered only on a page can now be physically examined. The grooves cut by an ancient seal ring remain visible. The pressure of a human hand is still there. These are not copies. They are originals. Jerusalem does not preserve history at a distance. It places it directly into the present. Names once read aloud in Scripture are now lifted from the dust, transformed from text into touchable proof of lived reality. A city that remembers. When these discoveries are viewed together, they do not appear as isolated findings. A pattern begins to emerge, one that feels deliberate rather than accidental. Each discovery speaks from a different layer of the city, yet all point toward continuity rather than rupture. Water continues to flow beneath the city, moving through a tunnel carved nearly 3 millennia ago. Its purpose has not changed, and its function has not failed. Stones weighing hundreds of tons remain locked in place, unmoved by centuries of pressure, conflict, and time. Their precision has endured long after the methods used to place them faded from memory. Beneath rebuilt streets, ash from the year 70 AD remains exactly where it fell. Burned stones and collapsed structures still mark the moment of destruction, untouched by later reconstruction. The city moved on above it, but the ground refused to forget. Alongside these layers, small clay seals preserve individual names. Officials once known only through ancient texts are now confirmed through physical impressions, pressed into clay by their own hands. These elements are not random fragments pulled from different eras. They form a continuous record. Infrastructure, architecture, destruction, and identity all remain visible in their original contexts. Jerusalem does not smooth over its past. It carries it forward intact. Most ancient cities are known through reconstruction and interpretation. Jerusalem is different. Its evidence remains embedded in place, layered rather than erased. The city does not merely reference history, it operates within it. The same ground supports modern life while holding ancient truth beneath it. Together, these discoveries suggest that Jerusalem functions less like a ruin and more like a living archive. Each layer waits until uncovered, then speaks without explanation. No single find demands belief. Yet, when placed side by side, they create a coherence that is difficult to dismiss. Jerusalem does not shout its story. It allows stone, water, ash, and names to speak. And what they reveal is not a city of forgotten legends,